Look closely into a mirror right now, or picture someone you love with striking blue eyes staring back at you. Notice something strange about that color, because across the entire history of our species, almost no human ever had it. If your eyes are blue, or someone close to you carries that same color, you hold a hidden fragment of ancient history. It feels completely normal, something inherited quietly within families. Yet this simple trait is anything but ordinary or accidental. For generations, people accepted one simple explanation, believing blue eyes were nothing more than random genetic chance passed through bloodlines. That comfortable explanation has now been quietly overturned by researchers studying ancient bones, forgotten skeletons, and long-buried human remains. Scientists analyzing preserved ancient DNA discovered something that should never have existed if the old explanation had actually been true. The trail does not end with your grandparents or even your great-grandparents, but stretches back thousands of years into deep history. It leads toward a single human being living in one specific place during one extraordinary and unrepeatable moment in time. One person, one silent genetic mutation, became the hidden starting point for millions of blue eyes alive across the world today. Somewhere near ancient rivers and vast frozen landscapes, something changed inside a single strand of human genetic code forever. Nobody recorded the moment, nobody understood it, yet this tiny accidental change never disappeared from the human bloodline again. Researchers studying ancient hunter-gatherer remains near the Black Sea uncovered genetic clues connecting directly to this same forgotten mutation. Every clue researchers uncovered raised a deeper, more unsettling question about how this rare trait managed to survive and spread. Why did one accidental mutation, offering no clear survival advantage, eventually spread across entire continents and countless human generations? Who was this ancient person, walking beneath open skies, unknowingly carrying a genetic secret that would outlive empires and civilizations? Scientists now believe the answer connects ancient migration, human movement, and silent biology, working together across thousands of years. This story is not only about eye color, but about how deeply every human population remains secretly connected through ancient ancestry. By the end of this journey, you will understand exactly why blue eyes exist and where they truly came from. You will also discover why nearly every blue-eyed person alive today shares one single, unexpected, ancient genetic ancestor. But before revealing that hidden truth, we must travel back further than most people ever imagined possible or necessary. We must return to a world without color in human eyes, where one silent mutation was about to change everything. 10,000 years ago, ice sheets were slowly retreating, forests were spreading, and small hunting bands followed herds across river valleys. Every human alive during this era shared one quiet, unremarkable detail, since every single eye on Earth remained some shade of brown. Brown eyes were never a variation back then, but simply the natural, unquestioned default across our entire early human species. Dark pigment protected human eyes from intense sunlight for hundreds of thousands of years, especially across Africa and the Middle East. It was never decorative or symbolic, but purely functional, shaped entirely by survival pressures in bright, unfiltered ancient environments. Then, somewhere within an ancient Eurasian population, something small and unusual quietly occurred inside human genetic material for the first time. A tiny copying error appeared inside a single strand of DNA, accidental, invisible, and completely unannounced to anyone alive nearby. That mistake settled quietly inside one person's genetic code, waiting patiently to be passed forward through countless future generations. Archaeologists studying ancient skeletal remains from this region began noticing an unusual and unexpected genetic pattern emerging repeatedly. Ancient hunter-gatherer populations near the Black Sea carried genetic markers linked to lighter eye pigmentation earlier than scientists expected. One especially striking case captured worldwide scientific attention almost immediately after researchers finished analyzing the ancient remains. Skeletal remains discovered in Spain, nicknamed by researchers after the cave where they were found, revealed something remarkable and unexpected. This ancient hunter-gatherer had distinctly dark skin, yet carried a genetic marker strongly associated with blue eye color. That unusual combination stunned scientists studying human pigmentation, since it directly challenged decades of accepted scientific assumptions. For years, textbooks assumed blue eyes and light skin evolved together, forming one single evolutionary package suited for northern climates. This single discovery quietly dismantled that long-standing assumption, forcing researchers to reconsider everything they thought they understood. It suggested something stranger, that eye color and skin color may have evolved separately, for entirely different biological reasons. As farming slowly spread across Europe centuries later, this rare mutation did not fade away or disappear entirely. Instead, it moved gradually alongside migrating families, carried silently inside bloodlines from one ancient settlement to another. Trade routes expanded, populations mixed together, and ancient rivers became highways for both people and hidden genetic material. Historians studying migration patterns describe how this trait likely spread gradually across Scandinavia, the Baltic coast and beyond. By the time recorded history began, blue eyes remained rare, yet were no longer entirely unheard of anywhere. They appeared scattered across specific communities, often clustered tightly around particular regions and distinct ancestral bloodlines. Yet no ancient historian ever recorded why this pattern existed, since nobody understood genetics or hidden biological inheritance. That answer remained buried inside human DNA for thousands of years, waiting silently for modern science to finally arrive. In the early 2000s, researchers at the University of Copenhagen set out to answer a question puzzling scientists for generations. Why do blue eyes exist at all, when brown remained the overwhelming default across nearly every human population worldwide? Their focus centered on a gene called OCA2, which controls melanin production, the pigment shaping eye, skin, and hair color. Right beside OCA2, researchers identified a smaller neighboring gene called HERC2, quietly influencing how strongly its neighbor actually functions. This gene does not create pigment itself, but instead acts like a switch, controlling how much OCA2 stays active. Researchers discovered something remarkable. A tiny mutation inside HERC2 reduces OCA2 activity specifically within the delicate tissue of the iris. Less melanin inside the iris does not create blue pigment directly, but instead allows light to scatter differently within the eye. This scattering effect produces the appearance of blue, similar to how sunlight scattering through atmosphere makes the sky appear blue. This is where the discovery becomes genuinely extraordinary, reshaping everything scientists previously assumed about randomness and genetic inheritance. Scientists studying this mutation across thousands of individuals worldwide found something almost impossible to dismiss as simple coincidence. Nearly everyone with blue eyes carries the exact same genetic variation at the exact same location, inherited from one shared source. Evidence suggests this points toward a single common ancestor, someone who lived thousands of years ago in ancient Eurasia. This does not mean every blue-eyed person today personally knows each other or descends from one recent traceable family. It means their DNA quietly connects backward toward one distant, shared origin point buried deep within human history. One leading theory proposes this mutation first appeared inside a hunter-gatherer population near the Black Sea region long ago. This matches genetic patterns already found inside ancient skeletal remains recovered from that exact same geographical area. Researchers caution that pinpointing an exact date or a single identifiable individual remains extremely difficult using current evidence. DNA evidence clearly shows a shared genetic origin, though precise timing estimates continue varying slightly across different research studies. Modern genome sequencing has allowed scientists to trace this mutation with increasing precision, comparing ancient remains against modern populations. Some studies estimate the mutation is between 6,000 and 10,000 years old, though refinement continues as research advances. What remains beyond question is the underlying biological mechanism, since scientists have clearly identified the responsible genetic switch. This confirms the phenomenon is not myth or legend, but measurable, repeatable, verifiable biology hidden within human genetic code. This raises a deeper, unanswered question researchers continue exploring closely, since this mutation offered no obvious survival advantage. If it offered no clear benefit, why did it spread so widely across distant regions and countless human populations? Some scientists believe cultural or social preferences, rather than pure survival pressure, may explain how widely this trait spread. Others argue the explanation remains incomplete, and ongoing ancient DNA research may eventually reveal additional missing factors involved. Every piece of this story now connects together, forming one continuous thread stretching across thousands of years of history. A single ancient mutation, one quiet genetic switch, a trait once believed to be ordinary, simple family inheritance passed randomly. What researchers have actually uncovered is something larger, a living genetic thread connecting millions of people alive today. This is not merely a story about one isolated physical trait, but proof of how deeply connected humanity truly remains. Two strangers with blue eyes, born on opposite sides of the planet, may share ancestry stretching back thousands of years. This reshapes how we think about personal identity, since traits we assume are simply familial often carry ancient hidden histories. It reveals something profound about evolution itself, showing not every trait spreads because it improves survival or offers advantage. Some traits spread purely through migration, chance encounters, and simple human connection repeated silently across countless generations. Blue eyes did not need to offer any advantage to become part of human history and everyday human identity. They only needed one accidental mutation, followed by thousands of years of migration, mixing, and expanding shared ancestry. This discovery changes how scientists view other seemingly ordinary human traits, many of which may carry similarly ancient origins. Modern genetic research continues uncovering these hidden threads, using ancient burial sites, preserved remains, and expanding worldwide DNA databases. Each new discovery adds another piece to an enormous, unfinished puzzle about who we truly are as a species. This puzzle reveals where we came from and how closely every human population remains related beneath the surface. This is why scientists describe ancient DNA research as quietly rewriting human history, using evidence buried inside bones. The story of Blue Eyes reminds us that history is not only recorded inside books, but inside our bodies. It is written silently, passed directly from generation to generation, without anyone ever consciously choosing or understanding it. Somewhere near an ancient sea, thousands of years ago, one unnoticed genetic change quietly occurred inside a single person. No one recorded that moment. No one understood its meaning, yet the mutation never disappeared from human history again. It traveled through unnamed generations, across forgotten migrations, surviving ice ages, ancient empires, and centuries of unrecorded human life. Today, when someone looks into Blue Eyes, they are unknowingly witnessing one of the oldest traceable genetic stories known. It is a quiet reminder that we remain connected by threads far older and far deeper than most people imagine. If this hidden history surprised you, imagine how many more ancient secrets remain quietly written inside human genetic code. Subscribe and join us next time as we uncover another forgotten chapter hidden deep within the human story.